Hello, 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 and welcome back to the channel. This is your girl Islandtaro with a general message. I'm gonna do a reading on Puff Daddy and his current state at the moment. Um, just to get a feel on everything that's going on and how he may be feeling at the moment. Um, but before we get into it, I want to ask you to like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about me. Leave a comment down in the comment section. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know Puff Daddy. I don't know anything about him. I'm just doing a general reading on his current circumstances, but have nothing personal to do with his current situation. Okay. Please give me the energy for P. Diddy. Well, I did pull some. I did pull some cards on him before and try to let me put this where you guys can see it. So basically we're at a 5 of cups here. So I feel like he's lost a lot, as in like connections or friendships. I feel that a lot of people who he thought were going to be with him and help him fight through this are not. Um I get the sense that he realizes that he's gonna have to let that life go. I did also ask in my pre-shuffle about, like, did he really do the things that they're accusing him of doing? And obviously he is guilty of some things, especially like abuse towards his significant others as well as his staff members. But I feel like a lot of the other stuff that's being said about him could possibly be fabricated. And I don't want anyone to come at me or come for me for that, but I'm just going to read the cards like it is. And like, I'm not going to tell lies or anything to cater to what the internet's doing, but I just feel like, yes, a lot of people are telling the truth, but I feel like at the same time, a lot of people are being paid to say things. hmm I feel like he has a lot of hope and feels like he can renew himself, or that he has enough resources to the point where he can renew himself or rebuild himself out of the matter. I see them offering him a plea deal or some type of plea that he refuses. I feel like they're gonna offer him a deal, maybe a deal where he can, maybe a deal where he admits to certain things, but I feel like he's gonna stand his ground and fight, because although he feels like he is guilty of a lot of things, he just feels like he shouldn't take the rap for everything, because he's not the only one. That's what I heard. He's not the only one. And I feel like he could be emotional about it, but he's not going the emotional route about it. I feel like he's using his head over heart when it comes to this matter. And I also saw that it brings him great despair. Um, Funny that I said that because right away that this came out, but I feel like it brings him great despair on the way he treated his past relationships, or and or the way that he treated his staff members. I feel like he feels regret at the fact that he used his power of authority and money in order to make people do things because he had money, and like I feel like, was it ridiculous some of the things that he was requesting people to do? Yes, it was, but at the same time, I get the notion that he's saying I'm guilty, but I'm not guilty of everything thereof or everything above. Like everything that they're accusing him of. I suppose that's what that means. I see a lot of fear within him, the most out of him losing financial his financial abundance and like everything that he's worked for, or I see him afraid of his kids not being able to have the opportunities that they have had thus far, and I feel like that's his main concern. I he I know that he's not getting any sleep, and on some real type depression thing. Excuse me. And I feel like although he had those parties, and there was a lot going on at the parties, I don't feel like he set people up per se. I feel like people were willing. Like we have to use our common sense. Like I feel like things are being blown out of proportion. Like maybe there was like several bottles of lube, but not 1,000 bottles of lube. Like the internet and people, the general public can be so gullible, and when social media paints a narrative of people, then people run with it. And like I'm not so much of a fan of Puff Daddy or anything like that. I like the artists that he's produced over the years, and some of the music that he's made over the years has been alright. But I feel like fear is fair, and people should be held accountable for what they did. Like him abusing that girl on camera obviously is ridiculous. That you should never put your hands on anybody, but I'm saying at the same time, like you shouldn't be accused or held accountable for things that you didn't do. Like, but I feel like with them parties or whatever, like maybe there was a lot going on and things happened to people, but it wasn't of him setting it up. It just happened. And it just happened to happen at his party. But, no one is innocent really when it comes to Hollywood, because they all know, like, they all have their shit that they do. And it's like, it's just the same. It's just people with more money and able to, like, do it in more of abundance. And I feel like what he feels regret of is being guilty, because he feels like he had all these lavish parties and did all these things to please people, and it came back to bite him in the butt. but I don't really think that he understands that those parties and the way that he was acting didn't need to happen. He could have just put himself into something else or focused on something else instead of having freak off parties. Like he engaged in devilish. I heard demonic and devilish and demonic things, and there was two sides to him that certain people knew and then certain people didn't know. But I feel like he's guilty of a lot of things, but I just don't feel like he's guilty of everything that they're accusing him of. Yeah, and like I said, like I feel like he's very concerned about his financial state. That's how I feel. I feel like he's concerned about everything that he built and like the status of his, like not the status like of being popular, but like the opportunities for his children diminishing. I also feel like he's deciding to put this in God's hands because he know he cannot change the past. He cannot change anything that he did or erase any footage. And I feel like where this Four of Cups come from here, I just feel like something being offered to him and he doesn't want it. Or maybe someone was asking him to do something and he didn't want to do it. So that's why all of this is being amplified. That's how I feel. Like I feel like it's like, oh, if you're not willing to go all the way, then why go at all? Hmm. Okay, let's pull a couple karma cards to see what we have. I feel like maybe in the future he will no longer go by the name Puff Daddy. I feel like he's gonna drop that name for some reason. He's no longer gonna call himself Puff Daddy. He may just go by his government. And let's just put these all together and read them because there's no specific way, but okay. I feel like throughout his life, he's been granted a lot of opportunities, and he's been good at using his intuition to protect himself and his family. Um, but I also feel like his attitudes from the past has um resulted in certain things manifesting in his life in this moment. Um, I feel like this situation for him is karmic, and I also feel like throughout his ancestry, he may have came from a family of good fortune, but they use their power for abuse. And I feel like right now, um, his main concern is his finances. I just keep getting that. And I feel like although he's been granted good fortune, I don't feel like he used it for as much positivity as he can use it for. Because when God blesses you, he blesses you so that you can go on to bless others, not manipulate others. And I feel like there was a great deal of that because he had money, he manipulated people. And I also feel like there's a lot of people behind the scenes who don't like him. And I feel like he effed around and found out. And that's why he's going through what he's going through now, and no one's protecting him anymore. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And if you like the entertainment, comment, do as you like. Um, but I can't force you to like it. If you didn't, you didn't. You could go to another person and find something entertaining. But as always, love, peace, and light. And don't be afraid to subscribe and tell your friends about me.